And you mentioned that these past 2 years were came with a lot of change. Um,
Yeah.
what have you learned about yourself in the past 2 years? Like one main lesson
One main lesson in the last 2 years.
that you've learned about yourself that you
Yeah.
perhaps you thought you weren't able to do or to say or to believe.
Yeah, for sure. Um, it's never too late to start living for yourself. And you are here. This is going to be a little long. So, um, the
We have
one
time.
thing I learned was that I never put, I have time. Um, maybe I'm just going to give a little background here just
Definitely,
to
go
fill it
ahead.
in.
Go ahead.
So, my background, for those of you that don't know me, is I uh, I was abused when I was a child. When I was 12 years old, my sister spontaneously tried to kill me. She has very severe autism, and for the next 2 years, at the drop of a hat, as they say, or like without provocation, without anything else, something was happening in her brain that made her want to attack me. And I didn't defend myself. I had enough mental thoughts that to not, you know, protect myself against my sister, to not attack my sister, because, you just don't do that. That was my belief system. It still is. And but what pathway got created in my head very early on is that I need to be safe. I need to find safety no matter what I do after those two traumatic years. And that kind of went through my whole life. And what ended up happening in that process was that I went and played everybody else's life game. I got a big house, amazing wife with two beautiful kids, and from the outside, it looked perfect. The house was paid off, everything was good. We were traveling, doing kind of living your best life. And this part inside of me still didn't feel right. And it was kind of the imagery somebody gave me was like, it's like, you're beautiful on the outside and rotting on the inside. That's a really hard thing for somebody to say to you, especially when you think like, no, this is just how it is for everyone. It's not. And I know there's somebody out there listening right now that's going, oh my God, that's like me. I'm doing this thing. You don't have to follow my path. Um, so what I had to learn was that I had created safety by making everyone else around me happy. And I figured if everyone else around me was happy, then I would be safe, and then that would make me happy. And I gave up my free will to a lot of different things, a lot of different people's preferences and stuff like that. I didn't have preferences because that might make me at risk of getting harmed. And again, this is a 12-year-old mind that has thought this. And it was only when my health started to really fall apart, and I remember there was a moment where my kid dropped something, and it wasn't something. It was like he dropped his shoe or something when I was trying to put it on, or something fell. And I remember thinking like I was having a moment in my head where it was like a bomb going off in a movie where you're doing the slow motion kind of grab or running away or whatever it was. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not a normal response to the situation that's happening. But uh, my parasympathetic nervous system, I think I got that right, was it had been in overdrive. I was on pure adrenaline my whole life, on high alert, and so my amygdala was always. I mean, you talk about looking for tigers. It was looking for tigers like when I walked into my own bathroom. It was just I that was the pathway that was conditioned. It's like always be on high alert. So with that background, what I had to learn was if I'm going to help those around me, I need to heal myself, first of all. And in going through my pain and going through the struggles, even this week, I was releasing a lot. You start peeling back the layers of the onion to get to yourself. It kind of becomes, it becomes a good thing where you're like, okay, this is something I don't like about myself, and I have the tools to change it now
Yeah.
on my own. So I've built a toolkit over the last couple of years to help fix these things, to help heal these things. Fix is a bad word. So the one thing over the last 2 years that I would say is honor yourself, honor your happiness, and if people around you don't get that, don't get what makes you happy, or don't get what you're doing, they might leave. But they're making way for great people. And if you do that, I can guarantee you some pretty awesome things are going to happen. Crazy. I'm coming off one of the wildest years of my life, and it's only getting followed by the year that's come, this year that's been even more amazing. And it's all because I've kind of stopped trying to control everything, and I'm just kind of taking my hands off the wheel and going, okay, let's just see what happens. And you get to have amazing experiences when you start to fulfill what you know in your soul you're meant to do, and you get to talk with amazing people in Malta on a Friday afternoon, which is really, really cool. So
Thank you for the compliment
it's
right
amazing
there.
thing. Oh, you're welcome. You're wonderful to talk to, by the way. You're very insightful, very calm. I'm really enjoying this. So
Thank you. So am
that
I.
would be the advice.
So am I.
Appreciate
And
it.
I didn't expect for us to get so vulnerable. So thank you so much for sharing your
You're
story,
welcome.
and I appreciate your insight that you put into it. And I'm very glad to listen that you're finding ways how you can support yourself. You're creating your support system as well, and that these past months were amazing months for you.